pain of a bad relationship. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. You know, the pain of a bad relationship can even be worse than a bad toothache, and that's pretty bad. As y'all know, I had a toothache, and I had to go to the dentist, and I had to have a tooth pulled in the back. It had a crown on it, and the crown had pushed on a nerve. And so it was very painful. And so that kind of brought to mind about when people talk about a bad relationship. Now, you know, some relationships start off good and they turn bad. And often they were good relationships that people neglected. And often if they put back that positive energy, they can heal that relationship and make that relationship great again. And yet there are some relationships that perhaps they never should have gotten together from the very beginning. They were wrong for each other. There was nothing really right about the relationship other than maybe that they were in love at the moment and they made a decision to get married or have a deep relationship only to find out that they weren't compatible at all and never would be compatible. So that's a lot different than someone who let a relationship go south. You know, some relationships can go south and because people don't take care of them. And all they have to do is get back to taking care of that relationship again, nurturing it, giving their 100%. So some relationships that go south because there was no investment in that relationship anymore. People ceased investing and then it turned south. And when people begin to invest again in that relationship, like I said, often they can turn that relationship around, it can flourish again and can be wonderful. And yet there are some relationships, like I said, also that really should have never been from the very beginning. The two weren't compatible, the people weren't compatible in them, and maybe they kind of misled themselves or didn't know each other well enough or whatever, or maybe did know themselves well enough but decided to, you know, be very, very close friends or, you know, whatever. Maybe they work together. I mean, it could be almost any reason why people formed a relationship, even though it might have not been right. Not all people are compatible for each other. And if two people get into a relationship that are totally not going to be compatible long-term for each other, that can pose a lot of problems, no matter how positive those people are, no matter how much they work on that relationship. And so I think it's important to choose our relationships wisely from the start. And if we choose our relationships wisely from the start and we continue to invest in them, likely we're going to have no problems or nothing significant that we can't work through. Whereas if we choose a relationship that is absolutely not going to be right for us, no matter what we do, often it's going to be like having to have a tooth pulled. You know, maybe that might be the only option is to leave that relationship or walk away from that relationship. And that sometimes is not easy because sometimes there's other bonds that have now taken place, other rooting that has taken place that makes it difficult, just like a tooth being pulled out, a bad tooth being pulled out. And so, you know, teeth don't start out bad, generally speaking. So if someone is not taking care of a tooth and it goes bad, often it's because they didn't take care of it. But if the tooth was bad from the beginning, often nothing that they can do about it is going to change it. And sometimes that tooth gets pulled. So some relationships are just maybe meant to go their separate ways in a very positive way, if at all possible. And some relationships are meant to be worked on and brought back to the way they originally were, or even better. Okay, well, from my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.